The term fiction is defined as something invented by the imagination. In entertainment, this is not just limited to superheroes and sci-fi, but characterizes the scripted narratives of reality entertainment. While this hypocritical label seems innocuous enough, it begs the question, why even call it reality? When these media personalities are listed as actors performing in their own lives and are guided by enough story producers to fill a synagogue, it's hard to pinpoint anything real about it. And yet, viewership has only risen, with the 18 to 34-year-old demographic making up the largest audience market, with their Gen Z siblings following in second. But why does this matter? Well, it doesn't take a huge leap in logic to see that these crash breast dummies are idolized to the point of emulation. To such a degree that your average thought-provoking Instagram post resembles more of a celebrity deepfake than a Facetune. Fixations on the lives of the rich and famous have become so widespread that con artists calling themselves influencers use a fake tits till you make it approach of imitating lifestyles well above their pay grade in order to shill worthless training courses, all while banking that the mounting debt from rented luxury cars and exotic Airbnbs will make their dreams of wealth a kayfabe reality before succumbing to complete bankruptcy.
It's all these fake influencers living fake lives. Nothing's real. The house is rented, the Lambo's rented, and they make you feel bad because you're working your 9 to 5. You got more money than they do. You don't even know that.
And with the same counterfeit millionaires selling their fraudulent depiction of reality on YouTube's platform, it doesn't take the distortions of a paranoid schizophrenic to begin questioning how much of what we're viewing is even real. And then there's KingCobraJFS.
Stop taking pictures of yourself. Your sister's going to jail.
When we're doing things differently.
Hell yeah. Talk to your police officer.
Listen, motherfucker, I know what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do.
The worst we have ever seen. It's gross, it's weird, that's my kind of style, dude. For sure. God damn it, don't show them the eyes.
What's up, fellow YouTubers? It's your sexy goth bad boy, KingCobraJFS, back at you with another video.
A balding goth with Asperger's who appears to be aging in dog years. Cobra,
Power word Josh Saunders,
is a YouTube live streamer and internet anomaly who believes in fantastic ideas such as possessing evil black magic, manifesting chi balls, intimidating women with his good looks, and being able to play guitar even reasonably well. While it doesn't take more than a few seconds of indiscriminate solos on a spray-painted Stratocaster or some Far East bullshito to see that Cobra's grip on reality is tenuous at best, it's through the context of his videos that affords an honest perspective into a reality too bizarre to be fabricated.
Josh's diet.
Of the few hobbies Cobra has, cooking is one of his most infamous. A self-taught chef, despite having a completely absent sense of taste and a belief that Cadbury cream eggs are a crucial component in calzones. Oftentimes, Josh will take any random assortment of food items laying around his house, throw them on top of a frozen pizza, and label it a food hack.
Pig's feet, Doritos, sushi, soy sauce, on top of a mother of meat pizza. Look at that. We got two different kinds of sushi. We got spicy yellowtail and spicy salmon roll. This is gonna shake the culinary world up.
When not testing the load-bearing point of failure for Celeste Pizza, he primarily lives off Taco Bell and Domino's, where he manages to turn a $5 two-topping into a $25 indiscriminate pile of pizza-adjacent items. His addiction to all foods fast and junk has resulted in his blood having the consistency of pancake batter, thanks to the average Cobra meal's cholesterol count rivaling a Matt Stoney upload. During one of his Master Chef classes, the video opens to what can only be described as a witch's cauldron filled with some of the blackest oil ever seen since the Jerry curl went out of style. Attempting to cook French fries, Josh has his motor oil running so hot that even before any food makes contact, the oil is already boiling away. Completely unaware of the situation culminating around him, Safety Cobra goes over the importance of dropping in each French fry one at a time as the first victim hits the 900-degree molten bath. Vaporization wouldn't even accurately describe what follows, as much as phased from existence would, as upon impact, the raw fry lets out a death scream akin to a Halo plasma rifle.
So, your next step is just drop them in there like that. Fuck it.
It takes 13 seconds before Josh's spray paint coated brain completely abandons all of his self-imposed safety precautions and dumps an entire cutting board's worth of wedges into the burning oil. And with that, the California wildfire that's been patiently waiting to surface emerges. The entire cooking pot is engulfed in fire and brown smoke, with flames shooting out from underneath like a 19-year-old's modded Subaru. Josh tries to reason with the grease fire, asking it to stop, before eventually giving up and stating,
"Fuck my life, YouTube. I need salt."
It's unclear why this statement was made, possibly due to Josh having knowledge that grease fires can be put out with salt, or he was just intending on eating the charred remains, but heard off camera is what sounds like salt being sprinkled around the sides of the pot. Granted, Cobra's bushcraft knowledge is only about as deep as Bear Grylls going into the remote wilderness, because the amount of salt needed to put out a grease fire would have to be large enough to completely engulf the flames. All Josh seems to be doing is seasoning the fire.
Homeboy Drama.
In the Cobra universe, only the most elite mooches and bullshitters make it into Josh's inner circle, dubbed
The Homeboys.
Of all these nicotine fiends, none are more close to Josh than the polarizing figure known as
My homeboy Scotty.
During one livestream, Cobra and Homeboy Scotty are going over their Subway sandwich orders, labeling this a food review, when they are interrupted by a bad faith actor trying to hijack their study. Tina, a recent ex and the mother of Homeboy Scotty's 2 children, begins berating the deadbeat dad for not being a responsible post-mortem parent. Josh, realizing this food review is only moments away from derailing like an actual subway train, attempts to quell the situation by rage requesting Tina to stop harassing Scotty and for his homeboy to ignore the overweight Oriental mother of 2. Cobra reigns in the live stream by blocking the land whale from his chat and saving the fast food review. But just as biology has shown, women are unable to be the bigger man,
Or any kind for that matter.
and accepting any mild loss and moving on is an unimaginable concept to Tina. So it's no surprise when shortly thereafter, a disembodied voice can be heard off camera at Cobra's apartment.
Hey Scott, I have your daughter. You want to see her?
Oh my fucking
Come here. It's time to be responsible.
Oh my god, Tina, stop.
Can you please stop? Oh my god.
Fucking gun. She's looking like a fucking bad person.
Yeah, because I'm not.
The shit I fucking
Oh my god.
I'll be right back.
I take care of her.
Alright.
I fucking work.
Not one to let a good molehill go to waste, the high-volume baby production factory has stumbled her massive girth to Josh's ground-level window and begins arguing with Scotty about her hard work towards raising their daughter. Cobra is furious as all hope of this sandwich review goes out the window Tina is screaming through. All Josh can do is sit by and watch as this remote custody hearing transpires.
I'd be a lot more pissed about this if that fucking sub wasn't so good.
The hair dye incident.
Back before Cobra's brain was firing off gender relations rants at a rate of only 3 words per minute, Josh's lifestyle was relatively well managed. Even after recently being kicked out of a job training program for having been caught fucking a grapefruit and smoking weed on campus, he is gainfully employed at Wendy's part-time and in a relationship with the girl Stephanie, who the two are as close a match for one another as an electric hedgehog-possessed artist and his senile boyfriend-free mother. After returning home from running errands, Cobes offhandedly mentions having confused his work shifts this week, informing his viewers that he's on the late shift tonight instead of his presumed morning slot.
Remember this.
While unpacking his purchases, one item stands out amongst the ordinary: a box of permanent black hair dye that Josh intends to apply while sitting in his computer chair, far enough away from any sink or bathtub to get in the way. In the midst of removing enough chains, studded bracelets, and skull necklaces to bankrupt Johnny Depp for a second time, a phone call from Josh's work supervisor interrupts the derobing and informs him that he's already missed half of his scheduled work shift. Panic sets in as Cobra's eyeliner pupils begin frantically darting around the room. A replacement night shift is eventually negotiated, and despite stating how dumb he feels, Josh continues on with his quest to never see a security deposit again.
One swipe through his hair.
That's it. That's all it takes for him to look like he stole experimental Wonka candy, the FDA approved for emergency use only. Hair dye is radiating out from his hairline and down his face, staining everything it comes into contact with. For a product meant to thoroughly coat even the longest of women's hair, Josh manages to completely drain the bottle on a hairstyle that barely touches his shoulders, to the point where the only thing left coming out of this strangled bottle is that farting ketchup bottle noise. A blue tint is now halfway down his back and on to advancing through the western front that is his left arm. To really show his manager just how serious he takes his employment, he dyes his eyebrows, mustache,
And right nostril for some reason.
now looking like a hue-shifted Groucho Marx. With the realization finally setting in, Cobra begins laughing at the horror show he's turned himself into, while admonishing that his smoke-stained teeth aren't doing him any favors either. Before ending the video, Cobb squeezes in a quick Asian accent akin to a Breakfast at Tiffany's audition, insisting that it's French for some reason, and heads off to work. Thanks to his tardiness and many other mistakes, along with one online troll dubbed by Cobra as
That fat fuck from Kentucky.
complaining to Wendy's HQ about Josh, he is let go from the company and has not sought employment since.
Hopeless romantic.
Before losing his job as a fast food janitor, Stephanie ends up leaving Cobra when multiple cases of infidelity
From both parties.
surface. This causes Josh to become all-consumed with finding another girlfriend, to the point of obsession, though with his strategy of waiting around for an of-age goth girl to materialize at his front door, the only thing Josh can manifest is a non-stop rager of a pity party for his friends to endure. To avoid a growing psychotic break, Homeboy Scotty, a man who already has the unhinged appearance of the Night Stalker with Down syndrome, decides to set Josh up with the goth bad girl of his dreams. Introducing Bailey, a fantasy girl no one but Scotty has ever met, who has a limitless supply of dogs getting run over by cars to make any meetup with Cobra impossible.
Scott tried to hook me up with this girl named Bailey that he used to go to school with back in the day. Him and Bailey went to high school together. Yeah, Bailey's supposedly hosting a party. Oh, I can hear the comments now. Scotty's lying to you, Bailey's not real. You think what you want to think, YouTube. We'll see what happens. That party gets canceled a couple times, and then the night they do have it, my homeboy Scotty decides he doesn't want to go because he's not feeling the greatest. So because he didn't go to that one party, I didn't get to go. The only reason I wanted to go to that party in the first place was to meet Bailey, and then on the Friday that me and Bailey were scheduled to have a date, she decides that she's going to host a party. And right before the party, her dog, Spud, gets off the chain. This 3-year-old puppy gets off the chain, pitbull mix, and is killed by a drunk driver. And then right after, Bailey's dog gets run over, she decides to change her cell number because she wasn't liking getting harassed by telemarketers. But she did do that. She lost my homeboy Scotty's number as well. So even if I had gotten her cell number, you know what I'm saying? Every time me or Bailey made plans to meet each other, something always came up, and it got frustrating real quickly. And a lot of people are saying that Scotty's trying to catfish me. Also, that's not true because Scotty's the one trying to set me up with this girl named Bailey. So autistic, in her 20s, and she plays the guitar, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Josh would, after countless attempts, begin to suspect something is off, and with this romance soon to be exposed as the gay, homeboy-crafted fanfiction that it is, Scotty, the hack-and-slash hackman, does everything he can to divert attention away from his scheme. While with a friend and hanging out at Josh's apartment alone, Scotty decides to escalate an innocuous argument over tobacco,
Of course.
into a full-blown samurai showdown. Pulling out the flea market katana all white trash seem to have in their home, Scotty-san informs his friend that he's been trained in the art of the blade and starts furiously stabbing the man. The police arrive before the finishing blow is delivered, and Scotty tries to claim innocence, like all compulsive liars do, stating that the friend was speaking about Satanism, causing him to fear for his life. Though when it's discovered that this attack took place at the apartment of his best friend, a self-proclaimed black magic sorcerer harboring an inner demon hellspawn, Scotty is promptly ignored and arrested. With some aggravated assault charges added to his permanent record, Bailey and the attempted murder cover-up are quickly forgotten about, giving Scotty the perfect opportunity to pull the same mall goth matchmaker stunt again on Cobra, this time role-playing as a girl named Izzy. After inevitably being ghosted by a second Phantom girl, Josh realizes he's running out of options for companionship. To make matters worse, he's beginning to bald prematurely, and to remedy this, has begun eating an alarming amount of onions and rubbing them all over his head, causing women to now flee at the scent of him. To brainstorm some dating solutions, Cobra begins smashing his guitar into pieces after trying to play the most evil of compositions, the national anthem. When that doesn't yield any ideas, he begins punching the ever-living shit out of his computer, severely damaging it, and eventually arriving on a MGTOW approach to solving his problem. Cobra sets up a GoFundMe to acquire a real doll. For some reason, the local K2 Wyoming News gets word of this and wants to run a story on Josh's synthetic love quest. What's even more bizarre is that they fucking reach out to Josh's dad, Clint, as if he'd want to go on TV and broadcast his son's perversions. Now with this news story an imminent threat to GoFundMe's scam-based business model, the crowdfunding platform panics and deletes this gothic PR disaster. Thankfully, making room for one more haggard aging emo chick to avoid adulting by way of sympathetic funding.
With nothing left,
Cobes takes a radical extremist approach to being single, declaring he is now asexual.
And it's a damn good thing I'm not in charge of things, or things would be different. I make having relationships illegal and force everyone to be asexual and masturbate only, and that's it. They can't do it in front of each other, they can't do it to each other. And if they broke law, they get like 40 years in prison. Fuck it. Be putting cameras in people's houses, making sure they're not trying anything funny. Like, you are caught fornicating, that's 40 years in prison.
Fans notice he is at rock bottom, with one trying to cheer him up by sending him
what else?
a pocket pussy. This prompts Cobra to boot up a live stream where, in the midst of a sex-deficient temper tantrum, he cuts up the canned girlfriend, attesting to finding sex repulsive. Mind you, this is all after having already used the prosthetic pussy. In just a few hours, Cobra does a complete 180 on this self-imposed ban and rebuilds the unwashed neo-vagina with electrical tape like a Guatemalan sex reassignment surgery. In a clear-cut example of regression towards the mean, Cobes goes back to endlessly bitching about his woes to anyone within an earshot. This persistence eventually pays off when not only does Clint buy Josh a new guitar, but a fan actually purchases Cobra a $1,000 real doll. Unofficially named Queen Cobra, this romance lasts for all of one day
Before tragedy strikes.
Somehow a sloppy seconds thief heard about this sex doll and breaks into Josh's apartment while he's out, kidnapping the mail-order girlfriend and making a cleaner getaway than the condition the doll's in. As if this wasn't bizarre enough, the boys in blue are on the case and they eventually find the doll held captive in the back of a plastic sex trafficker's car, just moments away from being sold for scrap metal. Apparently, in the Wyoming school system, the leaders of tomorrow are taught that cum is a recyclable rare earth metal. Now, if this is too fantastic to believe,
Even for a Gothic King Cobra arc.
it's likely due to this alibi being a complete fallacy. After a few hours, Josh comes clean, despite still wearing last week's attire, that he tore the doll's vagina with his callous dick, and in a blind fury of post-cum disgust, he cut off the doll's face, chopped the body into bite-sized Cobra pieces, and tossed the hacked corpse into his apartment's dumpster. Later, showing on a live stream that he kept the doll's mutilated face. What remains of the plastic dolly murder is what you would expect to find from a starving bath salt user, as apart from one ear, there's nothing left to call a face. Being now girlfriendless and with a computer that's limping to the barn, Cobra's network of investors decide to step in, and as if an exercise in futility, Clint buys his son a new iMac computer while the same fan buys Josh a second sex doll. No lessons have been learned by any parties involved, and accountability is something Josh thinks is a financial job position. To keep it short,
This new doll is no good.
resembling an overdeveloped fourth grader with alopecia, Josh defends his Jimmy Savile-approved love interest, describing the doll as being intentionally fun-sized.
That's not any better.
Leaning into this, he names her fun-sized Felicia and adorns her with the wig he kept from his previous victim. And to foreshadow Felicia's doomed fate, a new combat knife is unboxed right after, the kind useful in any self-defense situation against a sex toy assailant. Josh takes surprisingly good care of Felicia and even uploads a video going over the importance of cleaning sex dolls, but for seemingly no reason deletes this PSA. Cobra addresses this with a video titled,
The reason I deleted my video.
but because of a recent assault and battery he inflicted on his iMac, the device has been experiencing death spasms, resulting in the video endlessly looping the first second of recorded audio. All that can be heard is a loop of Cobra grunting like an Ethan Ralph Shart investigation. But as with any relationship, Cobra's eyes begin to wander.
Well, maybe we started with that.
When during another video, while completely hammered, Josh reflects on how his current situation with Felicia, the fun-sized ball and chain, hinders him from buying an of-age sized doll. ending the monologue with a grim reminder that if something were to happen to Felicia, he could purchase the kind of doll that wouldn't allude to him being an Omegle predator. Finally confirming her childlike appearance through proxy of Sean, Cobra's answer to Conky from Trailer Park Boys, and attempts to get out of the relationship by cucking himself and setting Felicia up with his ventriloquist dummy. Though Sean not having a dick is a deal breaker for the miniature corpse bride.
Come on. What? Say it. Say what? Say it. Say what? She's too short for you, isn't she? I didn't say that. You're implying it. Do you want to date her or not? Yes, I do want to date her. I don't want to date him. What the hell was that? That was Felicia. What? She doesn't want to date me because I don't have a dick like you do. Seriously. Oh, come on, Felicia, give him a chance. What? Yeah! Get some of that!
Unsurprisingly, this leads to another of Cobra's sex dolls experiencing misfortune when he reveals that his Polly Pocket girlfriend suffered an accident, resulting in all of her skin melting off. Claiming that he used the wrong soap to clean her, he later admits that not only did the doll itself melt from this East London acid attack, but the extra face packaged along with it is also a puddle of filleted and deflated Felicia. After Josh throws out a second balding sex doll for his neighbors to discover,
The case goes cold.
no footage of this homicide has ever surfaced, and considering Cobra's track record of lying about the disappearances of his former partners, his version of events is suspect to say the least.
Charles Manson's innocent.
I 1,000,000% feel like post-nut guilt, he just destroyed that thing. 1,000,000%. Yeah, I think he just like felt weird about doing it and probably just lost it, ripped the silicone off of it. Like, R.I.P. fun-sized Felicia.
My guess is that someone called him a pedophile one too many times for fucking a child-sized doll. So she took the same fate as Queen Cobra, ending up in the trash.
That was just creepy as shit, Sean.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes. Yes, it was. It was incredibly creepy. Yes.
The Scrapper Steve Sandal.
Josh's seal of protection surrounding his celibacy begins to wane when he announces to his friends and family on Facebook that he has had sex numerous times with a mysterious woman of Casper who he refuses to name. Clint, being a non-consenting participant to this information dump, is not particularly thrilled of the news. Eventually, this woman of interest is revealed to be a girl named Summer, a diet bestiality cosplay freak who, despite being a furry, is of age, non-related, and most importantly alive, which does check all of Cobra's prerequisites. The two begin dating, and Josh introduces her to his homeboys, most notably Scrapper Steve, a man in his 30s who believes he's a sentient goat trapped in a human shell.
Quit dipping and dabbing in the Kool-Aid if you don't know the flavor, nigga.
A friendship forms, and the three decide to exploit their shared immorality by selling fursuits to the underserved market of degenerates in the greater Wyoming area. But while in the early stages of generating initial capital, Steve tries to cut Cobra out of this partnership, stating he only wants to share this business venture with his own furry girlfriend. This convoluted admission to pursuing Josh's girlfriend romantically leads to both Summer and Josh leaving the startup before production of the pre-stained suits even begins. But despite this departure, homeboy Scotty receives intel that Steve has continued his romantic pursuit of Summer behind Josh's back. A plan is devised where Scotty intends to play fabricated matchmaker,
Now for a third time,
against Steve. This homeboy FOIA request not only manages to generate an admission of guilt, but unearths classified info, as Steve, a man scientists have speculated to be AIDS patient zero thanks to a history of fucking his family's livestock,
something he's openly admitted to.
ironically states that Josh was forcing Summer to sleep with him, claiming that Josh would be so unclean that Summer would have to plead with him to take a shower beforehand.
How does Cobra feel about fucking goats in their asshole?
You know what? If it makes Steve happy, I'm not gonna judge him. At least he's not fucking dead people. He's not fucking children. So what the fuck does it matter? Like, he fucks goats. He takes care of them. He doesn't hurt them. You know? He's told me these things. Like, he's straight up said, hey bro, sometimes the goats like it.
But just as this is being declassified, long format videos you would only expect off a Biden family netbook start to surface of Steve fucking an inflatable goat. Steve had previously gifted one of his computers to the homeboy Scotties, who upon finding these videos decided to sit on the potential blackmail as a sort of homoerotic dead man switch. Now, for someone to forget about videos of them fucking animals, blown up or not, begs the question as to what kind of media took priority over these ex-hamster zoo files when Steve was clearing the computer.
Steve literally thinks he is a goat in a man's body. Mr. Goat is a very literal nickname for him. He has had sexual relations with his pet goat Moon up until 2015 when it became illegal. Steve has fucked fresh roadkill and has fucked a teddy bear. Human women don't seem to be his main interest. I'm sure there's plenty of disturbing videos shot by Steve. He calls himself a zoophilia, and he likes to be a furry, but he doesn't want to screw other furries. And I don't know his deal. And Josh is like, yeah, I want to hang out with him.
That dude is a fucking freak show, man. I would not be like anything sketchy you would find on his computer probably wouldn't surprise me too, and especially like knowing about the zoophilia shit too. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by anything sketchy on that dude's computer. He is a fucking weird dude. Yeah.
Incredibly, Steve believes he still has any sort of standing to give ultimatums to Josh, who at this point is done with the furry community.
Aren't we all?
With their friendship deteriorating, this entire fiasco concludes with Josh and Summer breaking up after she is hospitalized for bronchitis and strep throat.
Huh. Maybe Steve had a point.
And Scrapper Steve's spread asshole, face in frame, making its way onto the internet.
Cobra's identity crisis.
It's now at the point where Cobra's computer troubles have become all-consuming. Every video he tries uploading results in formatting issues, AV sync loss, or recording software freezes. It's also at this time that fans discover that everything on the KingCobraJFS YouTube channel has been deleted without warning. Years of content completely lost that much of has never been recovered. Josh's viewers frantically search for reasons as to the media blackout and find a post Josh made to Facebook. He's done with YouTube. Later confirming this exodus was due to the litany of technical problems.
A lot of things on YouTube were giving me issues. The videos were not recording right, and on top of the videos not recording right, Photo Booth, which is the program that I use to record my YouTube videos, is also giving me issues. And I'm fed up with it. I got so fed up with it that I deleted all my videos. That's 3 years, okay? 3 long, miserable years of YouTube content. Just deleted, gone. You know, I want y'all to know that I haven't quit YouTube. I thought about it last night. Like fucking last night, early in the morning, dude, when I was at the end, at my wit's end, okay? Literally at my wit's end with the technology fucking with me like it has been these last couple of days.
The pre-purge content that is still available today is thanks to archive channels that for years Cobra has tried to have removed.
Bite-sized Cobra videos and Casper Anonymous. They're stealing my videos off of Facebook and YouTube without my permission. I've tried reporting them to YouTube for stealing my videos, and it doesn't work. I get redirected to the YouTube Help Center. At this point, it's just free exposure for me, so I quit caring about it, honestly.
But like a duct tape fleshlight, Cobra rescinds his severance with the platform, remarking that this account erasure will act as a sort of rebirth to his channel. While no notable change to his content occurs, one new channel is birthed from the fiery ashes.
KingCobraJFS.
Another goth bad boy, identical in every way to Josh, despite spelling his name with a K. Before even reaching a double-digit subscriber count, videos of fan mail unboxings begin to emerge, where guitars, tobacco, and other Josh Saunders-related paraphernalia are sent to the new Cobra. This grassroots hoax of rewrapping his own possessions works on Josh, whose uploads are now focused on calling out good new Cobra as an imposter in hopes of redirecting further gifts and appreciation letters.
What's good, YouTube? So, it's just been brought to my attention that some troll has been stealing my identity. This so-called KingCobraJFS, spelt completely wrong, has been going online and making videos pretending to be me. Now, ever since my last channel got deleted and this one got started, I think that's around the time he started too. But if you check my videos, you'll notice that I started first. If you check the times on my videos, you'll notice that mine were posted before any of his were.
Whether staged as a response to Josh deleting his archived videos or just a coincidentally timed Liquid Chris Chan ripoff, the new Cobra causes Josh to panic over the perceived growing confusion as to which Gothic Bad Boy is most definitely what's up. And without his past videos available as evidence towards his authenticity, Josh sounds the emergency Homeboy alarm to rally any nearby nicotine-starved friends to help corroborate his story.
People are so stupid. You know, you're reading all these comments of people saying, oh, you're clearly the real KingCobraJFS, blah, blah, blah. And when I'm reading it on the Poser's channel, I'm just like, oh, that's fucking funny. And if I hadn't deleted all my videos, it would have been more convincing on my side. But technology was pissing me off.
Aided by no one's favorite, Alex Warlord Campbell, Josh argues his validity by flexing what he thinks are his biceps and calling the imposter delusional.
The standard for any intellectual debate.
And it's not because your points are bad, it's because your points are bad and you're stupid.
You're fat.
This, along with Warlord aimlessly discussing his indentured servitude as a dishwasher, is the pair's ironclad defense. After a few weeks of back and forth video responses, the feud goes super critical, resulting in a sanctioned competition where the two go head to head in Cobra-related events.
Alright, y'all, this is my newest drink combination. I'm going to dedicate this drink combination to all my sexy fans out there, all my sexy female fans. This is a drink combination I'm calling Cobra Angel, Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey Whiskey, that's my jam, Monster Mutant Soda, bubbly pink champagne.
Where'd you get champagne?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I just happened to be making a drink tonight called the Super Cobra Angel Drink Combo.
Okay.
Tops Blue label. Original flavor monster, YouTube.
Whipped cream, too? So, imposter Josh just said you should add some bleach to your drink combination.
He should come in his like he did last time.
It's my sperm, people. I'm going to drink my sperm mixed with all this other crap I have with me.
I'd like to go to the guitar portion of the challenge. Now, there is a timer, and I notice you have a friend there. You have 2 minutes, Josh. Josh, shred!
That sounds like shit.
All right, Josh, that's 2 minutes. Time is up. Josh.
What? That did anything.
We're going to go joke for joke.
Real
okay?
Sean, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
All right.
Sounds good.
Look at
Sounds
how
good,
sloppy
Sean.
that
All right.
other Sean's makeup is.
All right.
This is how it's going to go. Just because we can't have two Cobras talking over each other and two Seans talking over each other. So,
with no clear winner going into the last category, the outcome will be determined by a forbidden black magic duel between the twin snakes.
Now I want to try to conjure an actual chi ball.
okay, so Josh is conjuring a chi ball right now.
Better not be.
Tensions are running high, and Cobra with a K looks visibly uneased. Josh tries to manifest a green chi ball with his wand, but unintentionally targets fake Cobra and his version of OBS with some kind of Harry Potter death magic.
You're gonna see a green ball appear above it.
What the fuck? Hey, Josh?
What?
So, I don't know what the fuck.
With only one Cobra left standing, Cobra with a K is gone and his content is memory hold, relegated to the Shadow Realm, never to be heard from or smelled again.
Presidential approval.
Upon hearing news of ISIS leader al-Baghdadi immortalizing himself into 1,000 pieces during an altercation with US troops, Cobra begins crediting this to an ongoing campaign of covert black magic he has been directing towards the faction, for some reason deciding to claim responsibility for a suicide bomb that resulted in the death of 2 nearby children.
Turns out, I've been casting dark spells against ISIS. That's no shocker, as I am capable of using my dark magic to help people. And when I see these fucking assholes bullying people, I'm like, I'm not gonna put up with it.
Word of this admission makes its way up to the Oval Office, as in the same week, Cobes receives a letter from domestic terror leader Donald J. Trump thanking him for saving America with his sorcery. Josh is flattered and begins reflecting on a prior speech Trump made, where at its conclusion, everyone in attendance chanted "Praise Cobra's magic" like a career suicide death cult. This party endorsement of the sexy goth SEAL Team 6 member has Cobra contemplating voting for the 2020 incumbent. But in order to guarantee the mall goth vote, Trump first has to promise that he's not a racist or a sexist. But more important than that, has to be willing to legalize weed.
You want to hear the national anthem in spooky tuning? It sounds kick-ass. I'm just saying, YouTube.
The following day, Josh is alerted to his subreddit, where he discovers that the letter had been doctored. This prompts him to begin destroying the document while doubling down on the fact that the speech he heard is still legitimate.
I know it's fake now, but guess what? I know what I heard, okay? During one of Trump's speeches, when they said they took down ISIS, the leader, everyone in the room shouted, "Praise Cobra's magic." I remember that. I was watching that speech.
Now, despite the occasional misquoted Sidney Watson talking point, Josh is absolutely clueless when it comes to politics. So hearing the same guy who thinks a State of the Union address is something you enter into Google Maps claim the president thanked him live on air adds further doubt into Josh's retelling of events. Fans rush to tell Josh that he's just been tricked into ripping up a once-in-a-lifetime political parcel. Somehow this, along with the fact that the letter posted to Reddit was missing its postage stamp, is all the schizo-proof Josh needs to confirm he is a government asset in the war against the Sandal Nations.
It's a real letter, Cobes. The trolls copied it to troll you. Well, let's see what the letter actually says on that subreddit. That's supposed to be the envelope it came in, because I'm looking at it, it doesn't have stuff on the bottom or the stamps or any of that. Oh, look at that. The trolls did copy the letter to troll me. Ah, I knew it from the get-go. Great.
Though as is common with clandestine operations, much of Cobra's magic has never been declassified, and to date, the only magic witnessed has been his 5-year ongoing dry spell.
Oh, we've gone a whole year without having it, and the year continues to move in towards 2 years. Eventually, it's going to be 4 fucking years. I can almost see it happening right now. It'll probably be 4 or 5 years down the road, and I'll be like, I should get an award for waiting this long.
Indeed, happy 5-year dry spell. I don't care when it ends at this point. The only thing more brutal than a 6-year dry spell are Wyoming winters. Fuck.
Clint's called in.
Where most think of hygiene as a straightforward concept, Cobra has taken a creative approach to his cleaning routine. By smearing Bond tactical pheromone soap all over his clothing, his now enameled Gildan brand t-shirts can be worn for up to 26 days at a time before the zombified cotton blend experiences complete rigor mortis. Though the Bond soap's patented bull semen technology is formulated to attract of-age women to the user, the only people that seem to show up around Cobra are bisexual homeboys, balding furries, child support debtors, and good guy Darth Linney. Along with his cult of platinum EBT cardholders, Josh's odors have garnered some unwanted attention from his housing management as well. After a few narrowly passed apartment inspections by his landlord, comments such as disgusting and maybe you should go easy on the tobacco are swiftly ignored as patience begins to wear thin. On a following live stream, while in the middle of opening care packages filled with dried bugs and pork brains, Clint, Josh's father and consequence absorber, takes the night off from his cross-dressing photo shoots to call his Gothic Bad Boy and break the news. Josh is being evicted from his apartment. Even with both eyes looking in opposite directions, anyone could have seen this coming. Josh's apartment is an EPA nightmare, and after multiple noise complaints, endless fines, and grievances about the ever-present cloud of secondhand smoke emanating from his rent-controlled apartment, he cannot fathom why his contributions towards his apartment complex are unappreciated. He begins running through old receipts, showing how the sexy goth philanthropist bought a $40 outdoor ashtray for his building, and that this is no way to thank him for his charitable contributions. At this point, realizing that his son making it on his own is a mere pipe dream at best, Clint brings up the fact that his magical indoor hobo has accrued a bill of $6,000 in damages, thanks to Josh's carcinogenic fog that has permeated the surrounding rentals. The unit above was so severely damaged that it was deemed unrentable due to it becoming a sort of gas chamber.
One that actually existed.
Where smoke and paint fumes would travel up the connected fireplace flue, creating living conditions that would even violate the Geneva Conventions. But, as enablers do, Clint works his own magic and manages to get Cobra in a new apartment in under a week. At the same time this life lesson is being narrowly avoided, Cobes travels to Colorado for lazy eye surgery, where he ignores all aftercare advice, and following some regularly bleeding eyes, the death metal Ricky Berwick's lazy eye returns. With his closeted dad having put in all the work for this move, and even supplying a new lazy boy recliner to match his son's eye condition, Cobra still manages to complain about his dad asking him to help clean a few layers of grime left behind at his old apartment. He records a video while waiting for Clint, ranting on how his binge drinking weekend fun is ruined thanks to the forced obligation to clean up after himself.
What is up, YouTube? Oh my god. We're hanging out, doing a live stream on my YouTube channel. No weekend fun. I'm not gonna be able to spend hardly any money at all this month. I got bills to pay. Man, this is not going to be a fun Friday for me at all. I assure you this, because I gotta go clean my old apartment in the afternoon. My dad's working right now, and he's going to pick me up in the afternoon, and we're going to go, excuse me, we're gonna go clean my old apartment. No, because it'll be me cleaning it too, dick lick. Otherwise, depressed, but hanging in there. Yes, I am in a bad fucking mood. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh, dude.
Josh's complete meltdown.
After years of unrestricted chemical dependencies, Cobra has begun to resemble a sort of homunculus Benjamin Franklin, thanks to subsisting on nothing but nicotine, alcohol, grease, caffeine, and sugar. On one extra drunken night, Josh, while live reacting to a video he's passed out in front of, is awoken by one of the hosts mentioning a soldier who has died of old age. Just by hearing any random military term prompts a Pavlovian response in Josh to attempt to play,
you guessed it,
the national anthem. While in the middle of his patriotic duty, Cobes achieves the first stationary Doppler effect as as every one of his notes refuses to stay in any sort of pitch.
No, that sounds horrible, you two. I hate this. Let's try this. I'm sorry, you two. Bullshit! Y'all didn't do it right.
After failing to honor the troops, this guitar hero goes into one of the worst fits of rage-based hysteria imaginable.
I don't even want to deal with this. Dude, I can't. I'm a fucking loser. Can't play the fucking Star Spangled Banner right now. It's pissing me off! It pisses me off! I've spent several years being patriotic. Fuck the haters!
Nothing is safe from Cobra's wrath. Nearby lighters are harassed and insulted, drink combos are kicked over, and miscellaneous bottles of liquid are beaten against an already exhausted computer desk. After stating many times that he's sick of it,
Not sure what he means there.
Josh tries to pull himself up by his jockstrap and go outside for a cigarette. But before he even takes a single step, gravity appears to increase against him, and he plummets into the floor behind his chair, lips first. At a volume no neighbor could continue pretending not to hear, Cobra lets out a blood-curdling scream and finds his cigarette has been snapped.
God damn it! Broke my fucking cigarette! Fuck!
Cobra regains his upright position, only to whip the ever-living shit out of his hat against his armchair and expose his dick after his sweatpants become caught under his feet. At this point, having exhausted himself, the satanic Gordon Fisherman begins falling into what looks like an alcohol-induced coma. The broken cigarette slips from his relaxing grip, which wakes the beast from unconsciousness, just to violently threaten the loose cigarette with its intended use.
Fuck you! Stay the fuck in my hand, you piece of shit! I'll smoke you until you're dead! Fuck you!
A month later, to further the ploy to guarantee his lease agreement gets reassessed, Cobes and Alex Warlord Campbell get completely intoxicated on fan-supplied alcohol provided by Matt Green. Warlord ends up couch-ridden, mumbling to invisible spirits, while Josh, after overdoing it on the spirits, exorcises them into his lap. The two stumble their way outside in hopes of finding an abandoned secondhand cigarette, where Warlord decides to meet the neighbors. With what must be a common Wyoming introduction, Alex Campbell comes bearing drunken insults and aggressive homosexual tendencies towards the innocent not bystander. The neighboring tenant, Ian, a man who's not afraid to put his foot down, concedes to Warlord's perversions and fists the ever-living fuck out of his face until he's left split open like a gaped anal cavity. Having his fill of being bludgeoned to death, Alex crawls his way back inside to berate Cobra for not supporting him. An argument ensues where Alex Campbell commits quite possibly the greatest sin against a Spencer's Gift Satanist imaginable.
He talks shit on Ozzy.
Cobra absolutely loses it and kicks the crap out of the already crap-kicked Warlord in the most anticipated pay-per-view fight of the year. The bout is completely one-sided and ends with Cobra, unsurprisingly, coming out victorious against Alex, the Cobraverse jobber, holding a loss record and amphetamine dependency that would even put Charlie Zelenoff to shame. Warlord has had everyone within a mile radius stop in at some point to kick his domestically challenged ass. Ian, the neighbor, Goldfinger, a not-of-age fanboy who Cobra refuses to explain how he met, and now Josh have all contributed to this FBI crime statistic. In a post-fight interview where he's told countless times to go home, the homeless Alex Campbell retaliates, stating if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have had any liquor, mistakenly believing that his sobriety sponsor provided the alcohol. Josh, infuriated with this trivial inaccuracy, shoves the bisexual meth vagrant down, and round 2 is underway. Warlord responds with the most long shot of MMA moves, the delayed axe kick from guard, while halfway across the room.
Hey, dude. Wild sight! Fuck off, loser! I came from Matt Green, you piece of shit! Go home, you're drunk! You're getting sued tomorrow.
Yo, okay. Josh.
Fucking do it, you pussy!
Yo.
Fucker, I will dance you, dude.
After a couple of goodbye fuck yous, Warlord storms out, breaking the front door by slamming it and fusing it into the door jamb, thus sealing the great KingCobraJFS into his dank tomb. Inside his sarcophagus, Josh begins ranting about Warlord, but not about his assault on Josh's neighbor or possibly getting Cobra kicked out of his second apartment this season.
No.
Instead, furious over Warlord being a gay faggot who thinks Josh is handsome, slandering Ozzy's name while in the House of Cobes, and never shutting the fuck up when Cobra is ignoring him to watch Chatterbait while the two hang out.
This being a common occurrence.
People keep telling me I need to get laid while they scare off every girl I try to get with. And all I can do is wait patiently and keep trying and say fuck the trolls. I don't need this drama in my life, dude. Like fucking Jesus Christ. What have I done to Alex? For fuck's sake, one of my fans sent me a fucking Subway sandwich, and I let the fucker eat it! Right after he said on the same goddamn live stream, oh, I can't eat this! And then 5 minutes later, he's sitting there shoving the whole fucking sandwich in his mouth? Fuck him, dude!
With the dust settling into the matted down carpet, Cobes starts reflecting on how much he's done for Alex and how he would have given him, ironically, the Ozzy Osbourne shirt off his back if he could manage to scrape it off himself. That's when Warlord returns, demanding his welfare-funded phone he left behind. For reasons unknown, this seemingly benign handoff turns into a botched hostage negotiation as Cobra refuses to give Alex his device back, instead smashing it and throwing it out his window. While Josh is in the middle of wishing death onto Warlord, stating how he and the late homeboy, Alex Anderson, a chilled lover, should have traded places, Casper's finest show up to what's left of Cobra's front door, looking to speak to him. With the door being welded shut, Cobes takes a play out of the Wendy's employee manual and asks the officers to pull up to the first window to answer their questions. The police, not a sponsor, arrived due to an anonymous call from a bisexual junkie living under a bridge in the area. This attempt to pin any wrongdoing on Cobra backfires when Josh, after shoehorning in his support for Blue Lives Matter, explains to the officers that Alex Campbell was talking shit on one of his favorite singers. And with that, they have enough evidence for an indictment and begin a full-scale raid on a nearby Hooverville, resulting in Warlord being arrested for drunken disorderly conduct against the goth guy who smells good.
That's what's up.
I was losing my mind during the fight, like after the fight when the cops showed up. He told the cops, he was like, I don't know who started the fight. I gave him a bar of tactical soap and then he's like, he told the cops about the fucking tactical soap. And then best part, he tells them that. They're just like, okay. And then they just left him locked inside his apartment.
Warlord is thrown into a drunk tank, and alcohol benefactor Matt Green arrives to respectfully kick in Josh's front door, saving him from hotboxing himself to death.
Yeah? Almost? All right.
There it goes.
close. Fucking Jesus Christ.
You're free, dude.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Bro, my pleasure.
So yeah, was I a dick for smashing Alex's phone? Yes. But he was a dick for breaking my door and trying to fight me, my neighbor, and talking shit on the Prince of Darkness. Look, he was being insufferable, and you know what? It is what it is. A couple of days in the slammer might help him sober up and realize, hey, you know what? Who his real friends are.
Where Hollywood's depiction of reality is an unattainable daydream many wish to live, the reality witnessed through Cobra is a nightmare always looming in the distance, inadvertently making Josh a sort of antithetical role model for self-improvement that offers success the law of attraction could only dream of. While most of us will never win the lottery, earn more than a modest 5-figure salary,
Not adjusted for inflation.
or achieve the lavish Hollywood Hills lifestyle that Ty Lopez and Andrew Tate are always desperately pushing, we of the great unwashed can rest assured that a lifestyle like Cobra's is all but guaranteed when escape from responsibility is an all-consuming thought.
Josh was not always this way, but now he has no job, no one to tell him how to look or when to wake up. He can drink all night, and then in the morning pray there is beer in the fridge to fight the hangover. Tax dollars pay for his base needs, meaning all his earnings go towards tobacco, booze, and fast food. He is fully avoiding pain or challenge at all costs. His future plans always start with, when I win the lottery, or I'm just waiting patiently for the right of age lady to come along. Josh's content is a poorly shot and edited vlog. Full control over every aspect of his content and the ability to censor anything. He just does not have a great understanding about normal human society, making his videos funny. To quote Anthony Bourdain, I understand there's a guy inside me who wants to lay in bed, smoke weed all day, and watch cartoons and old movies. My whole life is a series of stratagems to avoid and outwit that guy. End quote. Most if not all people have that guy inside them that just wants to do nothing productive, nothing hard, nothing other than avoid pain. But we can't do that without consequences. So instead we live that way through Josh, where we watch as a warning of what we will become if we allow that guy to win. And some people just like to watch a good train wreck.
Oh my God.
This nigga eating a sauce sandwich. And loving it.
To give credit where credit is due, mainstream entertainment has, on occasion, tried its hand at some of the more complicated aspects of reality, though it cannot help but process them into the same easily digestible depictions audiences have been conditioned to handle. Objectionable personality traits that viewers lack the ability to consider are left out regardless of their real-world existence. Or perhaps everyone knows to not criticize the trans community while the cameras are rolling.
Who knows?
KingCobraJFS would make a great freeloader or contestant. God knows he needs the money. That is being worked on. Johnny the Fan.
He's very, he's the most diva-ish to get. It's difficult to wrangle.
Yeah, I've been working on it nonstop.
He is a celebrity, and we need to sort of court him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd be down to go on Fish Tank, maybe like season 3 or season 4 when the weather's more permitting and when it's warm, you know.
KingCobraJFS and the few like him represent the unpolished truth of everyday life. Slow-paced, unfiltered, and perpetually inebriated, this unglamorous lifestyle is a type of entertainment entirely lost on writers' rooms, a kind of reality too unbelievable for fiction that can only exist in a lossless raw format.
There he goes, one of God's own prototypes. A high-powered mutant of some kind never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, and too rare to die.